Hello and welcome to this instalment of Talkin Trim. I'm Jonathan Skinner and today we're looking at some fully trimmed front seats, rear seats and centre console unit for the Jaguar Mark II model. This is also applicable to the Jaguar 240 and 340 models in terms of the style and spec of it all. The only main difference that happened on those cars was the material used was often changed to vinyl ambler, whereas these have been done in the OEM leather. And when I say that, I mean what we refer to as leather faced, which is the majority of the seats are leather, but there are elements on them that are vinyl, as well as a couple of bits of the moquette. We can also offer a full leather option where we will omit any vinyl pieces and we replace that with leather, but we do still keep the moquette for those options there, so do bear that in mind. But these are how they left the factory for the majority of the cars. In fact, this is exactly how they left the factory, because we have used Connolly Vaumol Leather for these seats. So it's a suede green, it's got that sort of crushed grain to it, and Vaumol leather was what a lot of manufacturers during this era, including Jaguar, used for their seats. Worth checking out the description below for a few reasons. One, we've got a great link to our website which goes into some nice details about Connolly Vaumol Leather, so do check that out. And two, this is the third video in a series of 3 videos, so the last video that I've done on these particular seats. The first 2 incorporated the seats as we received them from our customer, which were mostly original. They've been painted over the top of the old covers, I believe. Some of the other bits were actually exactly original, just very worn and torn, obviously. So there's one video showing that. Then the next video is showing obviously the seat covers that we made, and obviously the console cover that we made for all of this. So then this is the third iteration, the final iteration, which shows them fully trimmed up, as you can see here. So they look pretty cool. I do like these Mark II seats, especially the front seats. You do get a lovely sort of definition around this backrest bolster here. Does take some trimming, which is why this fairly local chap obviously wanted us to do all the work for him. I'm not going to go into too many details about all of the covers and seats because I have done other videos demonstrating all of this. I just wanted to kind of complete the series of 3 and really show you how nice they looked, especially in this Vaumol leather. So we can offer the exact original spec of all of this. Just to go over very basics without going into too much detail. Like I say, they are leather, what we refer to as leather faced. So for the rear seats, for example, where I'm stood here, pretty much all you can see there is leather. So the pleated panels, the surround, these elements here, these very bottom elements here, but then this center piece here where it gets top stitched on, that is vinyl. The retainer there is moquette. Then going on to the backrest of the rear seat, again, the surround, the pleated panel is leather. These side bits here are actually the vinyl. Obviously the top loops over the top, so that's still leather because it's part of the backrest there. And then the retainer on the very bottom down here is vinyl. Armrest wise, the majority of it is leather. Obviously functioning armrest, so it goes in and out, creates the pleated panel all the way across, and then you have the leather tab tucked in, etc. But the mechanism part here and this sort of swing bit here, that is, and the aperture here and the aperture here, that is all vinyl in there. But apart from that, they're leather. So that's what they commonly refer to is leather in the industry, but should not be confused with what we refer to as a full leather. On the front seats, very similar concept. Pleated panel and the horseshoes are leather. Kind of the bits that touch your body are leather. And then some of the other high wear areas are leather. So side bolsters here are still leather. Same with these ones here. And then the very outside part here on the base is leather. But then midway round, that changes to moquette, as you can see. And carries on around the corner moquette. Obviously that's because it then intertwines with the tunnel, gearbox tunnel for the carpet to intertwine. So moquette is a very similar material to carpet, so you can see it nicely on that side actually. And then for the backs of the seats, all the mechanism section down here is moquette, and this bit here is vinyl, and then the top bit there is where the picnic tables. Now we haven't fully fitted the picnic tables because we haven't got the woods for them. So we've just done our trimming bit, which that bit there is leather. And then obviously it would attach in there with the hinges Sorry, there we are. And it's got the wood that sits on top. So that back bit there that's exposed is vinyl, but this bit there is leather like that. So that's the picnic tables on the cars. Not all the cars had the picnic tables. Then the centre console, majority leather on this one actually. So top and sides there are leather. The back piece here is moquette. The ashtray here is leather, apart from the very, very bottom section of it there. Gear lever gaiter is leather as well. Top part is leather, as is the tab and the surrounds. That isn't piping. That is a trimmed bit of leather that goes around there. And it's worth noting that this is where we come into our own with our machinery. As I've mentioned in earlier videos, we have an in-house leather skiving machine, which allows us to thin down leather. And this is a prime example of when you want leather skiving down. It's for this ashtray, this Mark II. You're never going to get it fit properly there. Ignore our fluorescent green note there, the Jag emblem in here. It's a bit shoddy. Oh, there we go. So we've asked our customer to source one, and then we will glue that in for him. So we've just put a note over the top there until that is done there. Yeah, so nice seats. Really nice seats of Jaguar Mark IIs. They're a lot of work though. So whether it's you or your professional trimmer, if you do need some help, do let us know, because we are more than happy to help and guide on the bits and bobs of how everything is trimmed. So that's not a problem at all. Or of course, if you want us to do the hard work, we can do. So just let us know. But yeah, just to look in the book here, obviously these are the Mark II seats. Now it's worth noting, and I'm sure I've noted this in my earlier videos, front seats did change between whether they reclined or not, which also affected the space underneath the back section here and how wide that gap was. They also changed in the number of pleats. The very early cars had 7, the later cars had 8. 8 was a lot more common. Rear seats stayed pretty standard. Obviously the 240s and 340s did use vinyl ambler, but there was a slight change in the way this armrest was made. You had one that was kind of trimmed round and the other one that was kind of like a glove. So just bear that in mind. And of course, what we just recommend is that you send us photos of your current / original one, and we can guide it from there. But yeah, everything else is fairly standard. This bit of piping here is part of the rear seat kit, so I've just concluded in the video. It sits at the top of that backrest there, next to the rear parcel shelf, under the rear window. Same again on those 2 bits of piping next to the centre console. You can see actually, that's there, sits below the console above the carpet section there. So yeah, I think that's concluded everything. Hope you find that useful. Please do remember to like, subscribe, and share with other classic car enthusiasts. Of course, if you've got any questions, do ask in the comments below. Of course, contact us directly is probably the easiest way. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tune in next time. Thanks. Bye.